Hello dear students, welcome you once again in this online lecture series of business communication using computers. Today we are going to see the second chapter, non-verbal communication. The second chapter, non-verbal communication, contains three subtopics. The first topic deals with introduction, meaning and importance. Second subtopic deals with some short notes on Proximix, Chronomix, Vocalics, Haptics, artifacts and body languages. And the third subtopic deals with positive and negative body language. So let's start with the first subtopic, non-verbal communication, its meaning and its importance. Before we understand non-verbal communication's meaning, we try to understand what does it mean by non-verbal. Non means not, verbal means words. In this type of communication, words are not used, and this is the meaning of non-verbal communication. Now let's try to understand importance. Whenever the communication is going on, of course it is required that we have to use verbal communication or oral communication, but along with verbal communication or oral communication, it is also essential that we have to use an additional communication methods, and these methods contains in non-verbal communication. मित्रांनो, नॉन व्हर्बल कम्युनिकेशन म्हणजे जिथे आपण शब्द वापरत नाहीत अशा प्रकारचा संवाद किंवा संभाषण, हा त्याचा अर्थ झाला. आणि याचं महत्त्व आपल्याला सांगता येईल की आपण जेव्हा शब्दांच्या माध्यमातून संवाद साधत असतो त्याचसोबतच एक गोष्ट आपल्याला आवश्यक असते, ती असते नॉन व्हर्बल मेथड्सची. म्हणजेच बोलण्याच्या माध्यमातूनच आपल्याला कम्युनिकेशन करताना या नॉन व्हर्बल मेथड्सही वापराव्या लागतात, ज्या माध्यमातून आपलं कम्युनिकेशन अधिक प्रभावशाली आपल्याला करता येऊ शकतं. In second subtopics, there are some short notes: Proximix, Chronomix, Vocalics, Haptics, artifacts, kinesics, and this kinesics also contains some topics also. Most of these words are Latin words, and the meanings are given in the bracket. Proximix means it is related to space communication, space signals. Chronomix, it deals about the time. Third, Vocalics, it is called a paralanguage, how we are using our tones, voice, volumes, etc. Haptics, it is a communication of a touch, means with the help of touch we can communicate. Artifacts means some objects we are using in our day-to-day life. And last point is that kinesics means body languages, that it contains gestures, postures, facial expressions, dress and appearance, eye contact, silence and voice modulation. So let's start with these. First one is that Proximix. As I told you, Proximix, it means that space signals. Whenever the communication is going on, there are minimum two persons, sender and receiver. So when the communication is going on, what kind of physical distance these two persons have, and the physical distance between these two persons depends on that what kind of relations they have. So let's try to understand with these photographs. The first is that there are two friends sitting on a bench and enjoying their study by giving claps to each other. Second, we can say that husband and wife, they are hugging to each other. Of course, when the husband and wife they have a very close relations. In third picture, we can see that father and son. Father is playing with his son. Next photograph shows that teacher and students there are in the classroom. Now look at this. You can see that teacher is on a dais and students are sitting on bench. So there is a maximum distance between them because it is a formal type of relation. And the last one, we can see that subordinate and boss. Our next point is that Chronomix. Chronomix, it is related to time signals. It means that whenever we are doing some kind of work, it has its time value, it has its structure, it has its time, and we are mostly talking about the punctuality. And of course, when we are talking about time, it always shown by a watch. So time is very important. In a very first lecture, we can see that boss is asking his subordinates that why are you getting late. She's talking about the punctuality about his subordinates. In next picture, we can see that the importance of time during the athletics, how much the time difference it has between winner and loser. And the last picture deals with about the value of time, that passenger arrived late at railway station and he is about to missing the train and he is trying to catch that train. So in this way we can understand the importance of time. Now the next point is that vocalics. Vocalics is a para language related to tone, volume, pitch, etc. Now we can see these four photographs. The first two photographs are related to singing. When we are happy, we sing songs. But even we can find the difference between first and second photograph. The first photograph is about a lady who is singing a beautiful song. And the second is about a singer is also there, but he is singing a classical song. And during singing a classical song, there is a much variation in tone, pitch, and volume. Third photograph is about a person who got angry and shouting. And the last picture is about a prayer. These persons are singing a prayer with a very particular speed of volume and speech. So in this way there is a variation in their volume, tone, speech, etc. Now the next point is that haptics. It is a touch language, means we can communicate with the help of touch also. Now let's try to understand the communication with the help of touch, with the help of these pictures. The first one is that hitting. The man is hitting, means a person is there and someone is hitting to that person. It shows that your anger. Second picture is about holding hands. When you feel concerned with someone, what you do, you hold that person's hand. You want to give confidence to that person. Don't worry, I'm with you. Now at the bottom we can see that a husband and wife, they are hugging to each other and husband is patting on his wife to give encouragement, to give motivation. Next picture is that shaking hands. Whenever there is a meeting, very first thing is that there is a shake hand between two persons. And the last picture we can see that a woman is there who is slapping to a man, and in this way we can see that the anger through the last picture. So next is that artifacts. Artifacts, object signals. Whenever the communication is going on, we use some shapes for our day-to-day life that has been created by human beings. For example, tools or work of art, advertisement, documentary, media, etc., or the symbols. We use these objects created to call attention to product, services, or events. Now look at this. The first picture is that we try to show some non-verbal communication methods with the help of that picture and then diagram. At the bottom we can see three photographs. TV is going on. It is a creation of human being that he want to a source of entertainment, and that's why he has created television. Chair, he want to sit comfortable, so he has created the chair. Then car is there. He want to go from one place to another with more comfort, and that's why he is using car. So in this way we are using these equipments which has been created by human beings for their comfort. And the last point is that kinesis, that is body languages. And as I told you, it contains gesture, posture, facial expressions, dress and appearance, eye contact, silence, and voice modulation. So let's try to understand these points also. The first one is that gestures. Gestures means it is a movement of hands. Now try to understand these pictures. The first person is showing two fingers as a sign of V, and it is a symbol of victory. Second person is spreading his hands, some kind of emotion, feelings he want to express. That no, I'm not concerned with that subject. Third picture is that waving hands, that Miss Universe, Miss World has been selected for that, and she is very happy and she is waving her hands as a matter of gratitude. Next person photograph is that a person is showing his two thumbs, showing thumbs downside. It means that we want to express our disagree feelings with that. No. Hey, hooray, we can say that in this way. Next photograph is that the person is raising his hands and some kind of anger he want to express through that gestures. And the last one is that showing thumb up. Whenever we have done something, we show yes, we have done it good, and we show our thumb to that person or the next person. So in this way gestures are used. Now let's try to understand postures. Okay, wait just a minute. Postures are there. Postures mean it's a body movement, but it includes from top to bottom, whole body we are using to express our feelings. Now look at this. I have shown these two pictures, first two pictures, that how we have to walk, how we have to maintain our straight body position while walking. The first has been indicated with green, that is the correct position, and it has been indicated with a red color, that is a incorrect way or method. At the bottom also we can see that how we have to stress our body, how we have to sit on the chair. The correct position is that, and last picture is that it is a incorrect position to sit on the chair. Now look at this. This girl has been sitting on the chair in an incorrect way, and as a result of that she fell down. So in this way we are using postures as a body movement. Now next point is that facial expressions. Facial expression is also a very important part during the communication. As words are important in non-verbal communication, facial expressions are also very important. We can express our different kinds of feelings through our face. Now look at this. Crying, smiling, raising eyebrows. We are creating some kind of a question mark on that person. Then if we have a dislike, look at this. It is a very typical method girls are followed. Then anger, we are getting angry. Then winking. If we want to indicate someone secretly, we close our one eye. That is called winking. And the last one is that surprise. When the mouth is opened and eyebrows are raised, it is a feeling of surprise. In this way we can understand various type of facial expressions. Okay, now our next point is that dress and appearance. According to the occasion, we wear dresses. So we can understand this dress and appearance with these pictures. Now look at this. The first one is that Indian cricket team, men in blue, we can say that. They have a common uniform. When there is some kind of a celebration, family celebration is there, we wear different kinds of dresses. Especially during the marriage ceremony, we can see that the bride and bridegroom are always in a very decorative manner. Then during the parade we can see that there is a common movement and there is a combined uniform. So there is a very continuity and combination of a dress and the movement of their body during the parade. Now we can see that during the cricket, cheer girls are there, how they are presenting themselves. Even we can see that during the schools or colleges, students have a common uniform. So these dress and appearance are also play a very important role in communication. Now the next point we have to see is that eye contact. Whenever we are communicating with someone, especially when it is a face-to-face communication, we have to follow this method. If you are communicating with someone face-to-face and if you are avoiding eye contact to that person, it shows that you don't have any confidence about that. It may be you are guilty. So whenever you are communicating face to face, you have to maintain eye contact. Now let's try to understand this eye contact with the help of these pictures. Mother's love for her baby and baby's love for her mother. So it has been indicated with this picture. When you are quarreling, you look into the deep eye of that person with a broad eyes. Friends, you try to make good combination, good communication with your friend. Then when you fell in love, there is an eye contact between lover and beloved. And the last point is that whenever you are facing an interview, you have to look into the eyes. You should not look here and there during giving an interview or attending an interview. Or even when you are asking questions, you have to look into the eyes of your interviewee. Okay, now our next point is that silence. silence is also played very important role in communication. About silence, it is said that speech is silver, but silence is gold. It means that we can understand what is the importance it has. When there are words to express ourselves, and when we go beyond that word, when we cannot express our feelings into words, we keep mum, we keep silence, and that is the importance of a silence. And we can understand this silence with the help of these photographs. And our next and the last point is that voice modulation. As I told you, when we raise this, our voice, when we have to decrease, when we have to say loudly, when we have to say slowly, it is indicate in this voice modulation. Now let's see the first photograph, cheering. This audience cheering their favorite player. In second photograph we can see that whispering, the lady has been whispering something in a very low volume and very silently in the ear of that man. At the bottom we can say that that person, old person, is scolding to that another person who is in front of him. And the last point is that instruction, the dance teacher is showing that how you have to dance, and simultaneously she has been giving instructions to her students. So in this way we have seen various types of methods. Now the last point is that examples of positive body language and then negative body language. So let's start with the examples of positive body language. We have near about 6-7 points of positive body language. Let's try to understand them. The first one is that smile. Whenever you are communicating, you should have a smile on your face. It shows that your confidence. It establishes good relation with your audience. Second point is that regular eye contact. If you are talking face to face someone, you should have regular eye contact with your audience. It creates good relations among them and establishes good coordination among them. Then head nod. Whenever someone is saying something, you have to nod your head. It shows that you are agreed with your audience, that whatever you are saying or your audience is saying, it shows that you are agreed. Next point is that firm handshake. Whenever you are shaking hands to someone, you should not lose your hand. It should be in a tight position, but it should not be an extreme tight position. Then next point is that open palms. Even it is required to keep your palms in an open manner. It means that it shows your openness or honesty or sincerity towards your communication, your knowledge and your methods. Then next point is that upright and open postures. Whenever you are communicating, having an upright and open position means that you are keeping the trunk of your body open and free from crossed arms or legs. It means that you should not hold your hands in this way, or you should not cross your legs. You have to make them free. And the last point is that close distance. Whenever you are talking, you are communicating with someone, you should minimize the distance that person, so that it creates confidence among your audience. Now the last point, try to understand examples of negative body language. Even there are 8 points, let's try to understand them. Minimal eye contact. If you don't have eye contacts with your audience, it shows that you don't have enough confidence. Next point is that clenched fist. When you are communicating and you are holding your fist in this way, and if you are hitting in this way, it shows that there is something wrong with you. Either you are angry or you are not comfort with your communication. So just try to avoid it. Then minimal facial expressions. If there are no facial expressions on your faces, it will be a bore to your audience. So whenever you are communicating, try to create such type of facial expressions on your face. If you don't have such kind of facial expressions, that can be create negative impact on your audience. Then next point is that nose touching. If you are frequently touching your nose without any reason, it shows that you are uncomfortable, you are depressed, you are under you're not in a comfort position, you have some kind of a tension, so just avoid that negative point. The next point is that lip biting. During the communication, some person have that kind of habit, and what they do, they bite their lips. Again, try to avoid this negative body method because it creates a bad impression on your audience. Next point is that crossed arms. You have to make free arms. You should not cross your arms. It shows you are not comfortable during the communication, so let them make free. And the last point is that hands in pocket. Now look at this, it is a very negative body language. If you are keeping your hands into your pockets, it shows that you're a very arrogant person and you don't want to communicate with your audience, those who are in front of you. So these are the negative body methods. Just try to avoid them and make your communication more positive. So this is for all for this second chapter. Thank you very much.